Hi, and welcome to Scott Brooks Travel. Today we're going to talk about cruising to Alaska. If you know anything about Alaska, the cruise season starts in April and runs until September. And there are different things to do in each month. Each month is popular for one reason or the other. But we just got back from a cruise on Princess in September, so we wanted to share some information about that cruise, and hopefully these little tips will help you with your next cruise vacation to Alaska. So one of the questions you frequently get asked is, what do I wear and how do I pack? How do I prepare for Alaska? So as you probably know, the weather in Alaska is ever changing. Part of the region is a temperate rainforest, so they get a lot of rain. It could be cold, it could be windy, it could be wet. It could be all of the three, or you might luck out and have sunny skies and clear skies. It just depends. So the first key I want to talk to you about is layering. You want to be prepared, and you want to take enough clothes that you can put on layers so you can either layer up if it gets cold, or you can take some of that off if it's not too terrible. So you'll definitely need a raincoat or a jacket or a poncho. I recommend trying this thing out before you get there. And what I mean by that is sometimes rain jackets will what am I supposed to say? Make you sweat, and you get wet on the inside. So definitely want to try out your raincoat before you just go out with that. Waterproof hiking shoes, boots, water repellent shoes are recommended. Definitely you want good shoes because there is a lot of walking in all of the ports of call. You definitely want to take some binoculars for watching things from your balcony, as well as if you go into shore and you want to take your binoculars for different things. Insect repellent. So in the warmer months, so let's say April, May, June, and maybe into July, mosquitoes are pretty bad in Alaska. So you want to make sure you take some good insect repellent just to keep those bugs away from you. Portable chargers, don't forget for your cruise cabins. You can get on Amazon some that expand the number of ports that you have. So you have extra USB ports, you have extra plug-in ports. Those are very important. Especially on the older ships that may not be equipped for that. Motion sickness aids. So we did encounter some rough seas sailing out of Seattle, and our cruise was out of Seattle and came back to Seattle. Got a little bit rough going out. That's not completely uncommon, but usually it's rougher in the shoulder season, so in September, and maybe even in the early season, maybe like in April. So that's something just to consider. Continuing on, as you pack your bags, jeans, short sleeve shirt, t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, fleece vest, puffer vest, some kind of light jacket. You might need a warm hat or a toboggan, scarf, gloves. But I wouldn't not take a pair of shorts or even a swimsuit. Most of the ships will have heated pools, as well as usually like a solarium or adults area where they have hot tubs, and some of those are enclosed. So take your swimsuit if you're interested. So you might enjoy the hot tub while you watch the scenes go by. All right, so we're gonna talk about excursions next. I had a lot of questions about excursions. So first port of call I want to talk about is Sitka. In Sitka, you can see the Alaska Raptor Center. This is an animal rescue park where they've rescued bald eagles that need some assistance. There's also another animal rescue operation there called the Fortress of the Bear. So you can go check out bears that are being rehabilitated. Also, is Sitka National Historical Park. And if you didn't know about Sitka, it was considered the first Russian capital in the United States because the Russians, I guess, came over and settled there. And they actually built the first Russian Orthodox church in the United States, and it still stands there. It's St. Michael's Cathedral. I'd certainly recommend getting by there and taking a look. Whale watching. Now you're going to see some whales probably from your balcony on your ship. That's why you'll need your binoculars. You'll see them at a distance. You may see them, blowing their little stuff and doing whale things. But if you really want to see them breaching or see them up close, I would certainly recommend doing a whale watching excursion where they're going to take you out to where they know the pod of whales are, and you're probably going to see up close some whales. Remember this too about all excursions. The weather, again, is subject to change, and sometimes excursions do get canceled due to inclement weather. So just be flexible. I would say that about Alaska. Just kind of be flexible as you prepare and as you go. We're talking about Juneau, which is the state capital. Again, here whale watching is big. You're going to visit the Mendenhall Glacier National Park, so you can actually go out and get pretty close to the glacier. If you choose to, some of the more expensive excursions, you can take a helicopter ride out onto the glacier where you can actually walk on the glacier. You can go dog sledding on the glacier. There's also there sled dog and musher camp that you can visit and see the dogs, and you can ride on a sled. Mount Roberts Tramway is a nice experience that will take you up to the highest peak in Juneau. Great panoramic views and scenes that you can check out from the tram. And you get out at the summit, and they say there's some great views up there too. If you're a foodie and you like Alaskan king crab legs, check out Tracy's King Crab Shack. You can check them out online, but Tracy's has lots of different things: crab bisque, crab cakes, and of course crab claws, crab legs. So Tracy's is what you want to visit. Let's talk about Skagway real quickly. So in Skagway, you probably heard everybody talk about the train. It's the White Pass Railway. This railway follows the old gold miners' path that they took up the mountain, through the mountain to get to the Klondike. So very historical, beautiful train ride, lots to see. And don't worry, if you're on the train, if you sit on the right-hand side, yeah, of course, you're going to see out the right window, but the train basically does a turnaround at the summit. So as you come down the mountain, you'll be able to see everything that was on the left side of the train. Also on the train, there's free bottles of water. There's a restroom in every car if you need it. And also you're able to go outside on your car compartment and take pictures outside. So you're kind of free to roam around. The only thing you cannot do is you cannot change from car to car. Once you go into your car, that's your car. You're not allowed to jump over to the next car. So also in Skagway, one of my wife's favorite things was the Klondike Doughboy. If you've ever had a funnel cake or an elephant ear, which is I'll try to describe this, they call it fry bread in Alaska, but basically it's a big piece of bread that they deep fry, and then they sprinkle it with sugar and cinnamon, and it's $7, and you'll certainly enjoy it. So I highly recommend the Klondike Doughboy. And then we had a nice meal at the Skagway Brewing Company. It's another local establishment. The fish and chips there were really good. The haddock was great. If you're in Alaska, definitely try some of the local fish, whether it's haddock or salmon or whatever. It's great. Highly recommend. Ketchikan. So in Ketchikan, you can do flight seeing, which is where you get an airplane. They fly you around, take you out over a glacier. They had the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. You probably see that as an excursion through your cruise line. It's only 1 block from the cruise ship, so it's not far to walk to. They have a totem pole. There's a lot of totems in Ketchikan from the Native Americans and a lot of history there. So there's actually a Totem Bight State Historical Park. Now, it's too far to walk to. I recommend taking, there's trolleys and shuttles in most of these ports, and you pay a small fee and they'll take you, it's kind of like a hop on, hop off thing. They'll take you around the little town. The towns are pretty easily walkable, but again, like I said earlier, there's a lot of walking involved. So I would just, be mindful of that. But you can usually always jump on one of these trolleys or shuttles, and that's certainly helpful. Sorry, one sec. So, Victoria, British Columbia is another popular stop. Usually you're only there for a few hours, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's usually kind of in the evenings. The one thing to do in Victoria that if you there is a must do, it's Bouchart Gardens. They light them up at night. It's a beautiful garden. It's a nice paved trail throughout there. It is handicap accessible, either through wheelchairs or if you have your own scooter. Definitely recommend that. And then in Seattle, which some cruises start and stop in Seattle, others in Vancouver, but you might want to visit Pike's Market and the Space Needle, of course, are some things to do in Seattle. All right, so lastly, just want to talk about things you need to know. And I may have already covered some of these, but we're going to talk about them anyway. There's lots of walking. I can't say that enough. There's a lot of walking. So make sure you have good shoes, good socks. If you have mobility issues, please let me know or let your travel agent know. If you need to rent a scooter or arrange wheelchair assistance, I can help you with that. Just let me know when you need it, where you need it, and I'm sure it will be available. So even through the airports, so if you have problems in the airports, let me know. I can work with the airlines and make sure that they pick you up at the, as you get to the gate, as you get to check-in, they'll pick you up and they'll take you via wheelchair all the way to the gate. We talked about the weather. It is unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to get, so just be prepared for just about anything. Some of the ramps are steep due to tidal changes in the ports. So if you know what I mean, tide comes in, tide goes out. So these ramps can be pretty, the incline can be pretty good. But then when you come back, it may be a little less steep. But be aware of that. Some disembarkation on our last cruise involved stairs and steps, which I was kind of surprised of because there was a lot of seniors on the cruise. A lot of steps, a lot of stairs. So people have asked me how to get from the airport to the hotel or how to get from the hotel to the cruise port. I'm going to be honest, I think taxis, Uber, Lyft are probably your best bet. You can do a shuttle. I can help you arrange a shuttle, but it's pretty easy to, get in a taxi or an Uber. It's about a 15 to 20 minute ride, depending on traffic, from the airport to downtown. And then from your downtown hotel out to the cruise pier, it's probably going to be another 15, 20 minutes, again, depending on traffic. I will say this about, getting transportation from the airport. You're going to come in and, of course, you're going to go to baggage claim. And then I say it's a fair walk from baggage claim to where you'll pick up the taxi or the Uber. You have to go outside. You go under a covered walkway and then go into a parking garage. And you just follow the signs, but that's where you'll go and find your transportation. Hotels near the airport are typically around $279 a night, between $279 and $300. If you stay downtown, usually those hotels, you're lucky if you can find it for $300. Usually $300 to $350 to $370 is what one night will cost you at a hotel. Again, I'll be happy to help you find a hotel, or if you find one, I'll be happy to price it. I have lots of vendors that I can use, and sometimes my rates are better than what you can find online yourself. So I'll be happy to help any way I can. And believe it or not, that is all that I have prepared. If you have any questions that maybe I didn't cover, if you will send me an email or, drop on my Facebook page, which is, you can just search it with the little @ sign, Scott Brooks Travel. Please follow me on Facebook, same on Instagram, but Facebook's probably gets the most traction, so check me out there. Or you can go to scottbrookstravel.com, check out the website, leave a message or message me from there. And as you probably know, I'm pretty responsive. So it's been great talking to you. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.